It looked like just another summer night in Toronto's gay village, until men started vanishing into the dark, and no one could say where they'd gone. Welcome to the Wadi Files. If you're into true crime cases, make sure to like, subscribe, and explore the channel for more. Now, let's get into the case. For 7 years, the city told itself a comforting lie. These men were drifters, troubled, transient, probably starting fresh somewhere else. They weren't. They were in the hands of a man the community thought they knew. Church and Wellesley. Rainbow flags, crowded patios, music spilling out of bars. A place that was supposed to be a refuge. And moving quietly through it all was a familiar figure. Bruce McArthur, 60-something, soft-spoken. A big man with a Santa Claus face literal Santa, sometimes playing Father Christmas at the mall in December. He was a landscaper who worked for wealthy, older clients. He trimmed hedges, planted flowers, made polite conversation, and charmed his way into their trust. By night, he moved in different circles: dating apps, fetish websites, bars like the Black Eagle. He liked men who were vulnerable, often racialized, often closeted, often living double lives. They saw an older man, friendly, unthreatening, and never saw the danger behind his smile. The story begins in 2010. Skandaraj, Skandinavaratnam, 40, a Sri Lankan Tamil refugee, is a familiar face in the village. Friends say he's excited he's got a new dog, a new relationship, a new sense of stability. One night, he leaves a bar called Zippers with another man. He never comes back. His dog is left behind. His bed is untouched. His life stops mid-sentence. Days later, he's reported missing. No one can explain where he's gone. There's no scene, no struggle, no body. Just absence. Months pass. The fear fades. The posters come down. Then, at the end of that same year, December 2010, another man disappears. Abdulbasir Basir Faizi, 42, an Afghan immigrant, married, father of 2. He lives a double life, family man at home, closeted in the village. One night after leaving work, he drives toward church in Wellesley. He never comes home. His car is found abandoned near a ravine not far from where Bruce McArthur stores his landscaping equipment. His family is left with questions and no answers. 2 years later, in 2012, it happens again. Majid Hamid Kayhan, 58, also from Afghanistan, also a man with secrets. He disappears after being seen near the village. His son reports him missing. 3 men gone, all from the same general area, all middle-aged, all tied to the gay community, all vanished between 2010 and 2012. In that part of Toronto, a whisper starts to spread. Is there a predator among us? Police create a task force, Project Houston. They look at the 3 missing men, Navaratnam, Faizi, Kayhan, searching for links. They pull phone records. They interview witnesses. They chase bizarre internet leads, including a cannibalism forum where someone claimed they'd killed a man in Toronto. In the middle of all this, one name brushes the edge of the investigation: Bruce McArthur. An anonymous tip links him to at least 2 of the missing men. Police bring him in for an interview in 2013. He admits he knew them. He says he had a sexual relationship with one, that he employed another in his landscaping business. But that's it, he says. No arguments, no violence, no idea where they went. He's calm. He's cooperative. He's a man with no serious record. The old assault from 2001 is buried under a record suspension. On paper, he looks low risk. Without a body, without direct evidence, Project Houston runs out of momentum. By 2014, it quietly shuts down. Officially, no proof the men are connected. No proof a crime even happened. Unofficially, the fear never really goes away. Years pass. People move on. New faces show up in the bars. Old names fade from memory. But the pattern isn't finished. In 2015, another man disappears. Soroush Mahmoudi, 50, an Iranian refugee living with his wife in East Toronto. He's reported missing later that month. No clear connection to the village, not on the surface. In 2016, a man who lives in Toronto's shelter system vanishes. Dean Lissowick. He's never formally reported missing. For a long time, nobody even realizes he's gone. In 2015 and 2016, somewhere in this stretch, a Tamil asylum seeker named Kirushna Kumar Kanagaratnam also drops out of contact with his family. He's hiding from a deportation order, working quiet jobs, trying not to be seen. No missing persons report is ever filed for him. On paper, these men are scattered, unconnected. In reality, they're orbiting the same gravitational pull. Bruce MacArthur and the world around Church and Wellesley. But the break doesn't come yet. It takes the disappearance of one man the community can't ignore. June 2017. Pride weekend has just ended. The village is still buzzing from the parade. 49-year-old Andrew Kinsman is a pillar of the community. Building superintendent. Volunteer. Known. Visible. Dependable. If anyone is not going to just walk away, it's Andrew. On June 26th, he's caught on camera near his home in Cabbagetown, just south of the village. He walks toward a red van. Then, he disappears. Days later, friends break into his apartment. His cat is alone and out of food. His medications are left behind. His wallet and important items are untouched. Something is very wrong. Police finally have more than a vague absence to work with. They pull surveillance footage. They canvass the neighborhood. On Andrew's calendar, one word is written on June 26th. Bruce. This time, it's a clue that can't be ignored. A new task force is formed, Project Prism. Detective Sergeant Hank Idzinga and his team begin pulling at threads. The red van in the footage is identified as a 2004 Dodge Caravan. There are thousands of similar vans in Toronto, but only a handful registered to someone named Bruce. One of them belongs to a familiar name, Bruce MacArthur. Police quietly start watching him. By fall 2017, they've obtained warrants. They track his phone. They log his key fob movements. They trace his financials. They look at his online life fetish sites, dating apps, social media. Then they find out something disturbing. MacArthur sold that red van to an auto wrecker. Police race to the yard. Miraculously, the van is still there, intact. It's seized and forensically examined. Inside, they find traces of blood. DNA testing confirms it belongs to Andrew Kinsman. Later, they'll discover another match. Selim Esen, a 4-year-old Turkish man who vanished from near the village months earlier in March 2017. Now, investigators know two crucial things. Andrew and Selim are both dead, and both died inside MacArthur's van. What started as a missing person case is now a homicide investigation. The quiet landscaper with the Santa smile is no longer just a name on a list. He's a prime suspect. From the outside, nothing seems different. MacArthur is still tending gardens, still joking with clients, still meeting men on apps like Growler. Inside the investigation, the pressure is building. In December 2017, police covertly enter his apartment under a general warrant. They clone his hard drive. Forensic analysts start digging through deleted files, buried images, hidden folders. The deeper they go, the darker it gets. In January 2018, they uncover what they've been afraid to find. Post-mortem photographs. Dead men, posed. Some with ropes around their necks. Some in furs. Some shaved and staged like trophies. Many of the faces match the names the village has been saying for years. Navaratnam, Faitsi, Kaihan, Mahmoodi, Lisovik, Kanagaratnam, Azen, Kinsman. 8 men, 8 lives. 8 secrets locked in the computer of a man who designs gardens by day and hunts at night. From that moment, the rules change. Police put Bruce MacArthur under round-the-clock surveillance, with one instruction. If he's alone with anyone they take him down. The 18th of January 2018. Officers tail MacArthur as he moves around the city. Eventually, he returns to his apartment building in Thorncliffe Park, several kilometers from Church and Wellesley. A young man goes inside with him. Investigators watch him disappear behind that door, knowing what they've seen in the photos, knowing what happened to every man who entered that space and never walked back out. This is the moment. They move, Officers flood the hallway, breach the door, and step into the home of a serial killer. Inside, they find what they feared. The young man is restrained on a bed, handcuffed to a steel frame, a bag over his head, tape being prepared. He is still alive. MacArthur is arrested on the spot. The man on the bed in court, he'll be known only as John, survives because police chose that exact moment to act. For the first time in years, a victim of Bruce MacArthur leaves alive, and the city finally sees the monster hiding in plain sight. The investigation explodes. Police search multiple properties linked to MacArthur. Homes of friends, clients' backyards, storage spaces. One house, in the quiet Leaside neighborhood, becomes ground zero. MacArthur has landscaped there for years. In exchange for storage space in the garage, he tends the yard, places decorative planters, arranges the beds. Cadaver dogs brought to the property show sudden, intense interest in several large planters. They're frozen into the ground. Heaters are brought in to thaw them. Inside, investigators make a discovery that shocks even veteran officers. Hidden in those planters are human remains, dismembered, mixed with soil and roots, buried among flowers. Piece by piece, through forensic work and DNA, 8 victims are identified, some from planters, 1 from the ravine behind the property. The men the city thought had walked away, started over, or simply vanished. They were in the gardens, all along. In January 2019, Bruce MacArthur stands in an Ontario courtroom and pleads guilty to 8 counts of first-degree murder. The oldest known serial killer in Canadian history, the most prolific ever identified in Toronto. He admits what everyone now knows. Between 2010 and 2017, he targeted men tied to Church and Wellesley, many racialized, many closeted, many living at the margins. He lured them with sex. He killed them, often in his bedroom, often by ligature strangulation. He took photos of their bodies. He kept trophies. He buried them in the very gardens his clients paid him to beautify. He is sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. He'll be 91 before he can even ask. But the damage he leaves behind is bigger than one man. In the fallout, an independent review finds systemic discrimination in how Toronto police handled missing persons cases, especially when the missing were queer, racialized, homeless, or living double lives. The report concludes that culture and structure inside the service made it harder to see the pattern, harder to treat these disappearances as urgent, harder to connect the dots. For years, the community said, "Something is wrong. Someone is out there." For years, the system said, "We have no evidence of a serial killer." Both were technically true, but only one side was dying while they waited for proof. In the end, Bruce MacArthur was not a mastermind. He was a gardener who learned how to work in the shadows of a city, willing to look away from certain people in certain neighborhoods, living certain kinds of lives. He used that blind spot the way he used his tools, quietly, patiently, relentlessly. 8 men walked into his orbit and never walked back out. And tonight, Church and Wellesley still glows with neon and music. But underneath the lights, there's a lesson carved into the concrete. It's not the monster in the dark that's most dangerous. It's the monster everyone already knows. The one tending your roses, while you convince yourself that nothing terrible could grow there. Thank you for watching. If this case kept you interested, make sure to subscribe and check out the other cases on the channel. There are more stories waiting.